Supreme Court started its new term this month. Civil rights and freedom of speech are expected to be at the forefront of high-profile cases thanks to one Colorado lawsuit. A woman suing the state saying she wants the right to refuse service to LGBTQIA couples when designing wedding websites. As News 5's Natalie Chuck reports, this is not the first case in Colorado like this to make it to our nation's highest court.
Depending on how the case is decided, that'll have a really big impact across not just Colorado, but the country.
An influential case expected to be taken up by the Supreme Court this term starts here with a Denver area graphic designer, Lori Smith, and her company, 303 Creative.
The owner of the business said, I provide web design services. I would like to start offering wedding websites, but I'm not going to provide wedding websites for same-sex couples. And I want to advertise that I'm going to refuse to do business for same-sex couples who want wedding websites.
Local civil rights attorney Ian Kalmanowitz explains Smith is arguing Colorado's anti-discrimination law, which bans discrimination based on sexual orientation, is an infringement of her freedom of speech, saying she, quote, holds a sincere religious belief that prevents her from creating websites that celebrate same-sex marriages, according to court documents.
My first question is, why are we even here?
If this feels like deja vu, it's because it is. In 2018, the Supreme Court narrowly ruled in favor of a Colorado cake maker who refused to make a wedding cake for a gay couple.
There hasn't been any complaint made against 303 Creative. 303 Creative sued the state in advance of there being any kind of complaint. Nothing has happened.
As queer adults, I think there are, we've dealt with this a long time. We can process it in certain ways. It doesn't make it better, but, there's a resiliency there. For our young folks, they think like a majority of people hate them just because of this one part of their identity.
Advocate in Colorado Springs, Liz Smith, says the majority of businesses in town are welcoming to the queer community, but other times disapproval is palpable.
It just doesn't make any sense to discriminate against an entire group of people based on one aspect of their identity that truly affects no one but themselves.
And Kalmanowitz says the reach of this case's outcome could surpass the queer community.
Not even getting to the question of sexual orientation and whether there's a choice or not, let's talk about it in terms of interracial marriage. These interpretations of the law that are being argued for here by 303 Creative would allow a wedding website designer to say, for example, I'm not going to build a website for interracial couples.
Reporting in Colorado Springs, Natalie Chuck, News 5.
A ruling from the Supreme Court on this case is expected to come early next year.